My name is Werner Schmidt. I'm one of the directors of the European Investment Bank. In fact, I'm from the Projects Directorate. So actually, and Werner was talking about financing projects, but that's what we are doing, and I feel somehow quite confident in this room. We talked about water, which falls under my responsibility. We talked about urban tourism, which falls under my responsibility. So we provide basically food, shelter, and also water within my department. We have about 80 people, engineers and economists doing that. So before I come to the concrete answer of Maria, just allow me a little bit of telling you, okay, what is the EIB already doing and what are we doing in the region, and how do we support and finance already projects in the area. So the European Investment Bank is actually quite a unique institution. Many of you know it probably. We've been founded in 1958, and actually we are the EU bank. So we are on the one hand a bank, on the other hand actually an EU institution, but last but not least also the largest multilateral development bank. As a matter of fact, last year we've been financing roughly 83 billion of projects inside and outside the Union. Usually 90% of our investments are done within the Union. We are following, obviously, our public policy goals, which are basically looking at infrastructure, the development and support of small and medium enterprises, the contribution to the EU innovation agenda, and last but not least, environment is one of our key areas. I've been in this institution for 20 years, and as a matter of fact, when I started as an agricultural engineer and economist in the food sector, also in the blue economy sector at the time, we were rather risk averse, which has changed dramatically over the recent years, and actually an intervention of somebody from the EIB would not be complete if I wouldn't talk about the Juncker Fund, the investment plan for Europe, which has dramatically changed the risk-taking profile of our institution through the European Fund for Strategic Investment, and I'm very happy to talk about that in a later stage. Blue economy is something we've been financing for long. In fact, infrastructure, port infrastructures in Spain, in the Mediterranean is something we've been financing. Focus on small and medium enterprises. Dana touched upon, and Miguel also touched upon the tourism file, the tourism sector, which is very much on the SME side. But also research and development and environmental projects. So within the EU, actually, we have a clear mandate to support the blue economy. And also we are supporting some of the sea basin strategies, like the Atlantic Sea Strategy. What is important to understand also from the EIB, actually, well, we are a bank, we want our money back, no surprise. We are not providing grants, but actually we are financing both the public and the private sector. So actually we're financing also worldwide, which makes it quite interesting actually to bring lessons which we've learned from other parts of the world and Europe into the Western Mediterranean, for instance. I will just give you one concrete example. Actually, in recent years, we've been financing maritime transport, clean shipping of roughly a billion a year. So 1 billion euro a year usually goes into clean shipping sectors in the maritime sector. The core tourism sector and also wind offshore recently has received some $500 million per year of our investment. In the context of the Juncker Plan, of the European Fund for Strategic Investment, which the bank is implementing since 2015, we are now taking more risks. And as a matter of fact, also in this context, actually, some of the more interesting projects actually have come about also in the blue economy sector. So basically we provided, for instance, a framework loan to the state-owned port network in Spain to improve the land connectivity of the ports. So that's a continuous follow-up of our initial investments in the port infrastructure, for instance in Spain or in other Mediterranean countries. And this is then provided by the FC guarantee. Second point I would like to make, outside the Union, obviously, roughly 10% of our funding goes to outside the Union, which is still quite remarkable if you look about 8 to 9 billion. So we are the largest lender in the Mediterranean, northern Mediterranean area. We, for instance, financed the first large solar project in North Africa, in Morocco. And also, for instance, we are financing the interconnectors between Spain and Morocco on a project level. We are also committed to respond to the migration crisis. There is obviously in the context of the European External Investment Plan, but also concretely the Economic Resilience Initiative, which we are currently implementing, will provide an additional boost for investments in this very important area. One final point on our overall strategy. I talked about projects, about finance. Lending is obviously key for our institution, but also co-financing with our colleagues and friends from the Commission and also the Member States is important. And last but not least, also the advisory part of our strategy is important. So as a matter of fact, in the context of the MESIP, the Mediterranean Hot Spot Initiative, we are implementing with the help from the European Commission actually a project to prepare projects in the environmental and water sectors in the Mediterranean area. Also, what I would like to mention in the context of the Juncker Plan and the European Fund for Strategic Investments, the European Advisory Hub is a hub which can contribute to provide some further information to our project promoters. So, what are the next steps actually for the policymakers, the industry, the bankers in the blue economy? Obviously, as a banker, it's not a surprise that, okay, well, we should get the finance there where it is needed. And this comes obviously very clearly to one of the question, well, there's access to finance, that's clearly a problem, in particular for small, medium enterprises, even though liquidity is in the market actually, but the risk aversion of many is simply too high. As far as I'm concerned, and I'm heading the Environmental and Sustainable Development Department, so therefore obviously environment is very much close to my heart. I think competitiveness, sustainability, and environmental sustainability is something which is very, very closely linked. So I think that's something which is key. It's a key competitive advantage. I also think that the blue economy sectors, and Bernhard, Miguel have mentioned that, they are really heterogeneous, they're rather complex. And I think we should embrace this complexity and further improve collaboration. Last but not least, knowledge, sharing, learning, institutional exchange are key. 3 main bottlenecks and problems which we are seeing currently in implementing projects. Unfortunately, one is the geopolitical situation, the refugee crisis, the migration pressure. Bernhard has also mentioned youth unemployment, so the economic consequences of the financial crisis are still very evident in many parts of the region. That's one clear bottleneck. The second one I would call, as I mentioned earlier, access to finance, in particular the risk appetite of some of the operations, but also the preparation of bankable projects. We cannot just finance dreams. We have to have a bankable project. So that's one thing which is important. And the third bottleneck we are seeing concretely is a lack of institutional and administrative capacity to both prepare, but then also implement the projects on the ground. So it's actually nice to have a very good, well-prepared project. It's very nice to get the loan from the European Investment Bank and have it signed, but actually we see in a number of sectors and in numbers of countries very large problems to implement and have then projects which have an extremely long implementation time. Thank you very much, and I'm very happy to give you further.